So I was wondering, so you literally walked right into the question that I had because I think of myself as a child. I actually remember when I was 10 years old in the house in my childhood home, I remember a moment where I was standing. We had this huge window, and I was standing in the window pretending like I was a motivational speaker. And I didn't even know what
Really?
that was
Wow.
at the time. But then life began to impact, influence, shift me. And I had forgotten
Mhm.
that I wanted to speak, that 10-year-old little girl wanted to speak. I did not reconnect with that memory until years later. I'm
Wow.
literally standing on a platform and I'm remembering that moment at 10.
Mhm.
And so we all of us don't come out and we're confident and we keep track and we stay course. So I love that here on the flip side, you
Mhm.
are being honest that you haven't always been
No.
confident and been able to kind of stand in that place. Can you unpack that a little bit for us?
So a part of it is we can hold ourselves like we
Yes.
are our own worst critic.
Hmm.
And I was my own.
Mm.
So anyone who knows me knows. So I do, and I'm grateful that I have a PhD in nursing. Very grateful. But I always regret that there was no reason that I didn't go to medical school except myself. So
Mm.
when you ask, it's really funny that you're talking about that moment because I really was challenged to dip into it, but it came to me. I had my first interview after I became a nurse practitioner. It was intimidating. I wish there was a camera in there. It was pretty comical. There were six people in front of me, and I'm 25, 24,
Mm.
25. And I walk in and, I get in and, they're asking me a bunch of questions. And the doctor said, he was a surgeon, and he said, you know, he explained the culture of the hospital. And he said, what makes you think that you could handle working for us? Working for us
Wow.
as a minority. And
Wow.
I remember clearly the answer. And I said, in high school, I was the president of my sophomore and junior year. At Villanova, I was the president of my Black Student League. I am a leader in the alumni program at Villanova. Like I just started, and I don't know where it came from.
Yes.
And when I finished, and he was challenging me,
Mhm.
and he said, and he said, I'll be honest, I didn't expect to see you here. And I said, why? And he
Wow.
said, your resume said my maiden name, which is a full French maiden name. He said, I
Mhm.
didn't expect to see you here. I said, I'm here and I am ready.
Wow.
So, long and short of it, I got the job. And I was my authentic self. I was not afraid. I told him why I think and I know it would behoove you to hire me.
Yes.
And then I did not accept it because the salary wasn't enough. So
I
there
know
you
that's right.
so
I
there
know
you
that's
have it. But
right.
there you have it. But that was so if I had to think about
Yeah.
it, at that 24,
Mhm.
25-year-old girl was realized, wow, it is okay to be honest.
Yeah.
And people like honesty.
Yes.
It's who I am. I don't know any other way but to be honest.
But so sometimes people are struggling to put down the mask and be who they are authentically, especially in moments when their identity, their value, their how who they are is being challenged. And so sometimes that knee jerk reaction of putting up a facade or putting up a mask is almost a safety mechanism. But in the end, it actually teaches you to shrink back
Mhm.
From your perspective, all before we start putting things into our GPS, can you unpack a little bit of when someone is continuously hiding behind a mask, how is that affecting them emotionally, physically, psychologically in the end?
I have one word,
Yes.
and it may sound very trite. Pray.
Mm.
Pray. When there's this Catholic church that I went to when I was younger for years, and this lady sang the same song probably every other mass. I kid you not, right? And and I grew to love it. And the song, "Order My Steps."
Yeah.
So when you create that mask, or someone puts a mask over you, or you feel like you're suffocating, or you can't find that answer, there is something in having the ability and being vulnerable to say, Lord, I only ask of you to order my steps.
Mhm.
And when we talk about a GPS, it might not be your steps, it's driving, if
Mhm.
you think of it
Mhm.
that way. But within each step, and we'll talk about, my humble opinion of what those steps need to be. In each one, you must pray. You must order
Mm.
your steps
Mhm.
and ask him to order your steps
Yeah.
every day in all that you do to help unveil that mask, because you're not doing it alone.
Right.
And you are enough. Everyone is enough.
Mm. Yes. Yes.
Everyone is enough.